Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a car that perfectly blends nostalgia with innovation, a machine that helped shape the future of Japanese performance. I'm talking about the 1991 Mitsubishi 3000GT VR-4, but in this review we'll look at it through the lens of 2026, where it stands as both a collector's gem and a piece of living automotive history. And this isn't just any example. It's finished in a stunning burgundy color that gives it a rich, elegant personality while still carrying that unmistakable 90s aggression. Over the next few minutes, we'll take a close look at the exterior styling, the interior design and features, the performance that made this car so special, and finally, what it costs to get one today. If you're a JDM fan or just someone who appreciates cars that were way ahead of their time, this review is for you. Exterior. When you first see the Burgundy 3000GT VR-4, the color itself commands your attention. Burgundy isn't loud or flashy like red or yellow, but it has a deep sophistication, especially when polished to a mirror shine. It highlights the car's muscular curves and aggressive lines in a way that makes it look timeless. This was a car born in the early 90s, but standing next to modern sports cars in 2026, it still looks striking, still looks like it belongs. At the front, the VR-4 keeps that low, wide stance. The pop-up headlights instantly transport you back to an era when design was playful and bold. When they're down, the front end looks sleek and aerodynamic, with a wide grille and integrated fog lamps giving the car a purposeful face. Pop them up and suddenly the car gains a personality, a kind of animated character that's missing in today's LED-dominated market. The profile shows off its length and presence. This was never a small car, it had real road presence, with wide arches that housed 17-inch alloys, wrapped in performance tires that helped transfer power from the all-wheel drive system. The side skirts run cleanly along the body, guiding your eye toward the rear where the VR-4's personality shines even brighter. At the back, the wing is iconic. Large, fixed, and designed for real aerodynamic stability, it gives the car a distinct silhouette. The taillights stretch across the rear in a slim, full-width strip, a design that still looks futuristic. And then there's the quad exhaust system, which made no secret about the twin-turbo V6 hiding under the hood. In burgundy, with polished chrome details, the rear looks as elegant as it does aggressive. Even after 3 decades, the 3000GT VR-4 turns heads wherever it goes. Stepping inside, you're reminded that this was a 90s car, but one loaded with futuristic ambition. The burgundy example we're looking at pairs black leather with subtle accents, and despite its age, the design feels purposeful. The interior wraps around the driver, almost like a cockpit, putting everything within easy reach. The seats are deeply bolstered sports buckets, trimmed in leather, designed to hold you in place during spirited driving while still offering comfort for longer trips. For a 2+2 coupe, space is decent up front, though the rear seats remain more symbolic than practical, good for small passengers or extra storage. In front of the driver, the gauge cluster keeps things classic with analog dials. The tachometer and speedometer are large and easy to read, while smaller gauges for boost pressure, oil, and temperature sit close by. At night, they glow in that warm orange-red hue that defined the era, giving the cabin a sporty yet cozy atmosphere. The center console is slightly tilted towards the driver, a detail that reinforces the performance orientation. Here you'll find controls for the stereo and one of the most advanced climate systems available in the early 90s. For the time, this was luxury tech in a sports car, with features that rivaled higher-priced European competitors. One of the standout innovations was the electronically adjustable suspension, which could be toggled between Tour and Sport modes right from the cabin. Paired with active aerodynamics and four-wheel steering, it gave drivers real control over how the car behaved. Today, adaptive suspensions are standard in many sports cars, but in 1991, this was cutting edge. It shows how forward-thinking Mitsubishi was when they built the VR-4. Performance. Now, let's talk about the heart of the VR-4, the performance. Under the hood sits a 3.0-liter twin-turbocharged V6, producing around 300 horsepower and 307 pound-feet of torque in its original 1991 specification. That might not sound like much compared to today's supercars pushing 600 or 700 horsepower, but in 1991, those numbers were game-changing. This car could sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 5 seconds flat, which was right up there with contemporary Corvettes, Porsches, and even Ferraris. The VR-4 wasn't just about straight-line acceleration though, it was about grip and control. This car came standard with a full-time all-wheel drive system, something very few sports cars offered at the time. That meant no matter the weather, no matter the road surface, the VR-4 put its power down with confidence. Pair that with four-wheel steering, yes, the rear wheels actually turned to assist with handling, and you had a car that felt incredibly agile for its size. Add in the electronically controlled suspension and active aerodynamics, and you had a package that was decades ahead of its time. Driving the VR-4 is an experience that combines raw power with surprising finesse. The twin turbos spool quickly, delivering a surge of torque that pushes you back in your seat. The 5-speed manual transmission is mechanical and engaging, making you feel connected to the car in a way that modern paddle shift systems sometimes miss. The steering, enhanced by the 4-wheel steering system, feels sharp and responsive, allowing you to carve through corners with precision. In 2026, enthusiasts who've driven both modern performance cars and the VR-4 will tell you that while it may not match the insane speed of today's supercars, it delivers a unique blend of performance and technology that still feels special. It's not about outright numbers anymore, it's about the driving experience, the way the car makes you feel, and the sense of occasion every time you get behind the wheel. And in that regard, the VR-4 still shines. Prices. So, what about pricing? Back in 1991, the Mitsubishi 3000GT VR-4 wasn't cheap. It started at around $30,000, which was a lot of money back then, placing it in direct competition with the Toyota Supra, Nissan 300ZX, and even entry-level Porsches. Many buyers thought it was overpriced, which is part of why you don't see as many VR-4s on the road today compared to its rivals. But in hindsight, given the technology and performance you were getting, it was actually an incredible deal. Fast forward to 2026, and the 3000GT VR-4 has become a highly sought-after collector's car. Prices vary widely depending on condition, mileage, and originality. A well-kept, low-mileage example in pristine condition can fetch anywhere from $45,000 to $70,000 today, and rare colors like Burgundy only add to the desirability. Modified cars can sometimes be found for less, but collectors usually prefer original, unmolested examples. Restored VR-4s with tasteful upgrades, like modern suspension or infotainment, also command respectable values. The market has been trending upward for years, as more people recognize the 3000GT's place in the JDM Performance Hall of Fame. It may not have the same level of fame as the Supra or Skyline GTR, but those in the know understand its significance. It's still relatively affordable compared to its rivals, but values are only expected to climb as the car becomes rarer and enthusiasts seek out clean examples. So where does that leave us with the 1991 Mitsubishi 3000GT VR-4 in 2026? The Burgundy example we've looked at today is a reminder of just how ambitious Mitsubishi once was. This was a car that didn't just compete, it innovated. With twin turbos, all-wheel drive, four-wheel steering, adaptive suspension, and active aerodynamics, it was a glimpse into the future. Even 3.5 decades later, it still feels advanced, still feels exciting, and still commands respect. In Burgundy, it's more than just a performance machine, it's a rolling piece of art. A car that balances aggression with elegance, speed with stability, and nostalgia with timeless appeal. If you're a collector looking for something different, something that stands apart from the crowd of Supras, RX-7s, and Skylines, the VR-4 offers a unique proposition. And if you're just an enthusiast who loves cars that were ahead of their time, driving a VR-4 is an experience you'll never forget. This is the kind of car that makes you fall in love with driving all over again. It's not just about getting from A to B, it's about the journey, the feel, the connection. The 1991 Mitsubishi 3000GT VR-4, especially in this burgundy finish, is proof that sometimes, the future arrives early, and when it does, it leaves an impact that lasts for decades.